Hey there, Magic Makers. It's Deb D here for your Witch Wednesday. And today, let's play in the magical realm of you and your intuition. That's right, Magic Makers. We're going to dive on in to one of the most accessible, powerful, and wonderful relationships that you can have in your magic. I'm going to share with you what's the Deb D 1, 2, 3, the top 3 things that I think you need to do and know about your intuition just to get started. And I'm not only going to tell you about what I think you should do, I'm also going to give you the activations so that you can activate this tuning in and this getting intimate and up close with your highest ability to access your magic, your intuition. So let's get started with number 1. First of all, you've got it. It makes me so upset. Like sometimes I can feel it in my body when a magic maker says to me, well, I'm not intuitive, or I'm not intuitive like you or someone else. You are intuitive, magic maker. Let's just affirm that. I am intuitive. The thing is, you are intuitive by design. Your intuition is the voice, the knowing, the messages from you. Your higher I am presence, your soul, your God self, whatever you want to call it, the part of you that's not earthbound, the essential eternal part of you has a voice, and that's your intuition. I say intuition is my first language. It's my first sense. It's my first language. You can adopt that too. You can start doing that now, because Deb D says the first thing you want to do when we're tuning in to our magical power of intuition is, I've got one. First and foremost, by design, you have intuition. Now, the thing about that is you can work on it to tune it and develop it, because once you get jiggy with I'm intuitive, the next thing you want to do is explore your relationship. It's all about relationships. Isn't it? Isn't life all about relationships? Well, it's the same thing with your intuition. If you want to have intuitive hits to guide your magic, if you want to maybe receive messages from angels or archangels, if you want to be inspired beyond earthbound you, that's what your intuition is going to be able to help you to do. And it's asking you to play, to be in the relationship. So let's just begin here with this, Magic Maker. What's your current relationship with your intuition? Are you getting on well? Are you hanging out each day, tuning into each other, checking in? Is it all sweet and flowing? Or did you even forget about this relationship and you spent no time tending to this relationship? Or do you choose to tune into this relationship only when you want something? We all know those kind of people in our life. Well, the intuition is the same. It is a relationship. So how you are in this relationship is going to be the quality of intuition, and therefore the quality of magic that you can manifest and the transformations and change that you can bring about in your world. So tip number 1 is you've got it. You are intuitive. And the activation is start to tend to that relationship. Decide to have a good relationship and figure out, what does my intuition need? Or do I just need to affirm that I have an intuition? Whatever it is, first step, identify how's your relationship now? And then make a choice about how you want that relationship to be. Make that affirmation and let your intuition know. Your intuition's already going to know. But anyway, in the play, tend to the relationship. That's number one. And your activation is do the thing. Like really think about it and make a choice about what relationship you want. Okay, rocking and rolling into number 2. What does Deb D say? It's really good to know about your intuition is this. Trust. Trust and believe. So this is what I also see, and I have experience with this as well, is that people are connected to intuition. They know it's there. They know it's accessible to them, but they don't quite trust it. They're not quite following that intuition. They're not open to receiving all messages. So for your intuition to actually work with you, remember your intuition isn't earthbound. It's working with earthbound you to help you co-create the magic. It's going to help you connect to so much in the universe. You want to work on this relationship magic maker. And you got to trust it. You just have to, even if it feels scary. And this is how you can know. This is kind of like the activation. I'm going to tell you the framing of it, and then you're just going to start to affirm that and bring that into your vibration. So first thing, we have a relationship. We're going to figure that out. Make choices about that relationship. And then once we're in that relationship, you are going to make an active, embodied, unapologetic, I'm going to do this thing, move towards complete trust in your intuition. And this is how you can do that. Know this and breathe this in, or jiggy it out or dance it out if need be. Your intuition cannot, it's impossible to, cannot lie to you. It is the one relationship you are guaranteed that will always be honest, because it's impossible for your intuition to lie. So you can trust it. Even if it's telling you something that you're like, you're giving me a weird symbol and pointing me in a direction that I don't even know what's down that road. Even if the messages aren't clear, you can learn to trust them and just step a little bit towards it. Or say to your intuition, that's not really clear. Can you kind of give me another message or another way of knowing? But developing trust, because when you develop trust, it means that you're open to receiving. And not only are you open to receiving, you're going to follow it. And when we're open to receiving and following, you know what you're doing? You're strengthening that relationship. You're getting up real jiggy and close with your intuition, which tunes it, sharpens it. So you can transform from being one of those people, well, I'm not really intuitive, other people are, to, yeah, my intuition is on point. We are best friends here in the magical playground. Number 3, it's really useful to know what type of Claire are you. Claire is clear in French. And in terms of our intuition or our psychic knowing or our downloads, whatever you want to call it, there are 4 major Claires. I mean, there's more than 4, but I'm just going to cover 4. And we each are all 4, but we have one that is our dominant Claire. What are you talking about, Deb D? Deb D is talking about clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. They're the 4 Claires. Now, you can really dive in with these 4 Claires, and you can really get into, you know, how do I know which one? How do I tune that one? How do I follow that one? How do they interact with each other? And guess what? That's what I'm going to be doing in this series. I'm going to do a video on each one of those 4 Claires. Oh yes, stay tuned, Magic Makers, because it's going to get better video by video. All the more reason to subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Magic Maker community. I'd love to see you here while you figure out which Claire is the dominant Claire for me. So just to be here in the magical playground while we're beginning our exploration, we know we're going to be working on that relationship. We're going to acknowledge we even have one. We're going to work on that relationship. We're going to build trust. And, you know, I know it can be tricky because sometimes the intuition, it might tell you not to kiss that person that you really want to. Well, your intuition can't lie. So maybe choose somebody else to kiss, just as an example. And then number 3, you're going to start to tune into, really kind of be playful and aware in kind of a curious way, which Claire is dominant in me. And now I'm going to give you an insight into how you can start to tap in with which ones are playing out for you. Right. Clairvoyance is clear seeing. So you might see symbols. You might be the kind of person who sees the 111 on the clock a lot, or like, you know, you see numbers, like I'm always seeing a number 11. Or you might be somebody who you have really vivid dreams. But clairvoyance is all about clear seeing. You may be clairvoyant. You may be clairaudient, which is clear hearing. Clairaudient people will hear like bells or chimes, or it feels like you hear someone speaking but there's no one in the room, or you feel like you've heard something before when somebody's speaking, but your intuition is literally coming through your ears. Okay, that's clairaudient. Maybe that's you. Clairsentient is clear feeling. Now this, I think, is probably one of the most common. You can comment below and let me know if this is you. Clairsentient is clear feeling, which is the person who walks into the room and can feel that there's some negative energy there. This is the person who is feeling for somebody else. You might get a feeling about something. I can feel that I should not go to that party because I don't know why. I just have a feeling to not go. Or I have a feeling that maybe my friend is going to drop in today. Whatever you're feeling. And this is the dominant Claire for people who identify as an empath. So if that's you, you're clairsentient. There's lots of feelings. And our final Claire, which is my dominant Claire, Magic Makers, is claircognizance, which is like clear head, clear thinking, clear thought, which means you just get thoughts, ideas, knowings that pop into your head. And you don't know where they came from. It's not like you were thinking about it. Like, here's an example. I might be thinking about, you know, there's a couple of cats that live here. I might be thinking about the cats. And I'm just happy thinking about the cats and playing with the cats. And then suddenly I'm thinking about one of my clients and something else, something different. It's like popped in. It's got nothing to do with cats. It just pops in. It also happens to me when I'm reading for people, energy readings and oracle card readings and doing my intuitive guidance. I'll just get a pop in, which will be like, well, that's it. I just get a knowing about things. Like, I get a knowing of when it's time to start. We need to actually tune up the van because something's about to go wrong, which is what happened today with the werewolf's van. The last couple of days I've been like, we got to get that van tuned up. Yeah, today something went awry. So claircognizance is clear knowing. It just pops in. So which one do you feel, think, sense is your dominant Claire? Know this, Magic Makers, we have a mix and a blend of all of them, and one will be the dominant Claire for you. So playing along with our intuition magical playground exploration, this is how we're going to play. Magic Maker, first thing that you're going to do is you are going to acknowledge that you have intuition and that it is a relationship. and you're going to tend to that relationship. If you have been ignoring it, maybe invite it back in. If you have been somebody who has been like, well, I only listen to my intuition when I want to, maybe you want to open up to listening every day. If you're somebody who has a hostile relationship with your intuition, you might want to work on that. Or you may have a great relationship with your intuition and you just want to sharpen and tune it. First thing, tend to the relationship. It's all about relationships. And then once you've identified that relationship and committed to what your commitment is to that relationship, like I'm going to commit to working on this, or I'm going to commit to just being open to see what happens if I play in this relationship. You get to choose. It's your magical adventure. Choose your own adventure, but choose what type of relationship you want with your intuition, and then move into the deepening of that with trust. And you can do this because you know it is literally impossible for your intuition to lie to you. It is direct source. It is the universe having your back. It is you, your higher I am presence, having your own back. It is impossible for your intuition to lie to you. So yeah, you can trust it. And then number 3, play, play, play. What Claire am I? And just be curious. Don't kind of try to decide, because remember, you're all 4. So you might like explore all the different ways that your intuition is coming through, but play. And the reason this activation is important is because if you, like me, know that you are dominant claircognizant, then what happens is I begin to deepen more of my trust in those thoughts and ideas that just pop in. And it helps me to develop my relationship because I know how my intuition is communicating with me. It doesn't mean I can't hear things or have some moments of clairvoyance or have any clairsentience. Absolutely. But my dominant is claircognizance. What's your dominant? Where is your intuition playing out for you? Okay, magic makers, that's just the beginning of our magical play in intuition. For what I am going to be doing is I'm going to deep dive into all 4 of those clairs. I'm going to do a video each. There's going to be a little tuning to your intuition. I'm going to go into a deep dive of each of those clairs, and also tell you how you can activate, how you can tune, how you could work it. So you can start to really get into a deep dance tango in the magical playground with your intuition, because you really want to, magic maker. For when you have a really great relationship with your intuition, you know what happens? The whole magical playground opens up in colorful, amazing ways that you can't even imagine yet, because your intuition wants to be connecting, communicating, and co-creating with you. So it's worth it. So until next time, just play with developing that relationship, developing trust, and answering the question for yourself, which Claire am I? Okay, magic makers, always a delight. Such a pleasure to be with you all. I hope that you return, if so inspired, and you want to deep dive into those clairs and you have not yet. Hit subscribe, maybe the bell button, maybe send a comment, maybe let me know if you have any questions about a particular clair, because I'm here to deep dive into intuition for our magical adventure this month. Indeed. And breathe it in, for I know it to be true. And I really hope that you know it to be true, because it is true that you, my friend, you are the magic. Big love.